Hello, ducks! Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Duck Adventure. Look at that, guys. It's September the 16th, and the temperature, well, on my digital thermometer upstairs, when I got up an hour ago, it was 4 degrees. I totally forgot to show this to you. It's cold. And Dougie is definitely staying inside today because he walked across the bedroom floor with an unbelievable gimp. He really did it yesterday. Which I watched him yesterday. I don't remember him running crazy, but he obviously did. So today's Dougie's off, and I'm picking beans. Dougie's embracing his morning here, guys. He hasn't done any freaking and peeking, nothing. He's laying in the sun right now because that's his sore shoulder that's facing up. And I guess the heat of the sun feels nice on his shoulder. But he's not getting out today. I'll let him out later, a little later on for a bathroom break, but he might get out to get tied. It's supposed to be nice today. If he does come outside, it's going to be tied only. But he is sore. He really pushed himself yesterday. I've got 2 helpers today. Well, supposedly 2 helpers coming to finish my beans. They're going to get done today because we've got a crazy rain weekend, and I've got to get the beans out of the ground because the green beans, if I don't, they're going to be ruined. And I like green beans more than yellow, so I got to get them harvested today. Harvested and hopefully frozen is the plan. I want to bring up something, guys, and there's a bunch of new viewers that, oh man. You know, if you want to really get on the bad side of me, and a lot of you aren't going to like hearing this, criticize my dog. Anybody that's watched this show, you know, if you've watched this show long enough, you know, when I got Doug and what he was like and what Doug has become. Doug's, you know, I've had dogs all my life, guys. I've had dogs that I've had dogs that you could walk downtown Calgary during rush hour and no leash. Okay, they would stick right to you. I know what voice command is, but they're not the same kind of dog as Doug. Doug's breed is a guardian breed. It's not a retriever. It's not a pet. It's not a show dog. Doug is a working dog. That's why I got Doug. Like, that's why I looked for a large breed dog like Doug, because when I, back in, in 2014, it was 2014, when Rocco died, and Rocco was a pet, and he wasn't a working dog. I didn't want to get a puppy and go through the whole process of trying to train a dog to be a working dog. For what I needed here, I needed a full-grown dog of a breed that was known to be a working dog, and I was lucky. I was so lucky that that Doug was available on the internet, for rescue, and he was exactly what I needed. Like, it was unbelievable, actually. He's not a retriever. Like, don't even not think of playing fetch with Doug. He, the dog, doesn't do fetch. And he does. He has certain things that are bad. Bad habits from his previous owner. Like the previous owner, man, oh man, there was like no training whatsoever. It was bad. It was really bad, actually. Doug barely knew his name that he had at the time, which isn't even the name he has now. But he had no commands, like none. The dog was 17 months old and knew nothing, like zero. So, I brought him here and we introduced him to, that year with 700 ducks, and, and he, it was all new to him on overload. And like, I look at what he does now, and it's amazing. Like the what he does, like, and he doesn't listen. No, I'll tell you, I'm the first person to agree with you. Worst dog I ever had. Absolute worst dog for voice commands to get him to stop. But the thing is that every time you try to stop him, it's because you're trying to override his instinct. And that's the thing with Doug. is that his instinct is so strong. That's why he's so good at his job. Like, it's amazing to watch the dog work. Like things like, you know, how he runs the creek to get the ducks off that side of the creek because he can smell danger on that side. You know, when the coyotes show up and he gets between the ducks and the coyotes, like the things that Doug does that I don't know where it comes from, but it's instinct, you know, it's like he's just doing what he thinks, you know, like it's like when the ducks, when there's danger here, and he'll just go out and force all the ducks back to the property in a big circle. And he gets them in a big circle. Like, where did that come from? I didn't teach it to him. You know, he just does it because it's instinct. The way he sits, you know, and he sits on the highest spot on the property, and he'll just stare at the swamp, and I'll call him and scream at him, you know, and he won't even turn his freaking head to look at me, you know. Or I'll walk up and I'll touch him, and it startles him because he's staring so intensely at the swamp doing his job. That's the kind of dog he is. And that's the kind of dog I needed, you know. I didn't need a retriever or a pet. I needed a true working dog. Now, I'm lucky that Doug is a snuggle bunny. He loves snuggling, he loves cuddling, loves being in the house, you know, but he also is an unbelievably hard worker. Like the dog, you know, when he's outside, he just works nonstop. That's what he does. He just works. And, you know, I'm lucky, you know, to have a dog that, you know, he's got some quirks, you know, which, you know, aren't the end of the world. I put up with. But the thing is that the reason I put up with a lot of his stuff is because he's so good at his job. Like, guys, this year, I'm thinking this year, my gut's telling me we got next to no loss as far as predators are concerned, other than, you know, like otters and snapping turtles. Doug can't stop inside the water, but I'm thinking as far as the coyote problem, he's, you know, done an amazing job. I'm thinking like next to nothing has happened as far as coyotes are concerned. So we're gonna go let the ducks out. Sounds like Simon and the helpers here. Yeah, they are. Doug's letting me know. So we're gonna go start the day here. Yes, Doug, I know. Somebody's here, I can tell.
Did I say the date? I think it's Friday, so it should be the 16th of September. Oh, look at them. They're all coming. All right, we don't have Doug today because of his gimped shoulder, because yesterday, you know, he worked like a madman there down at the creek, but the lake is like glass. There's not even a ripple, guys. Like, it's absolutely perfect. I don't see anything. So I'm hoping there's nothing wrong down there, but the ducks want out. Oh boy. Come on, ducks, wake up. I'm waiting here, guys, so that there's more of them at this end of the pen. There's some stragglers that are taking their time at the top there. This is going to be a fast dump. Come on down, ducks. So look at this, eh? They're getting worked up. Right. That's a pretty fast jump. Of course, Muscovies, the last ones, there's some Muscovies that are still sleeping. Oh, there's our little wobbling girl. Oh, look at that little duck. She's such a cute little thing. Look at her, she's just, oh man, she's so cute. She's got the cutest wobble. Okay, the ducks are racing here. Okay, let's get down to the lake with them. Dougie's not liking me. I went in the house to get the shotgun because I've got Simon and my helper here working in the garden.
and I took Doug's collar off the door handle, and he came over thinking that he was getting out, and he's really sad that he's not. All the dog wants to do is come down here and do a patrol and do his job. And I'm totally screwing him up by making him stay in the house. He's not liking it. We've got 2 days of serious rain coming. Today it looks like it's the last nice day. It's supposed to be warm, but raining. It's strange the ducks wouldn't go into the creek right here. Okay, that Muscovy right there just flew down and landed beside me. I missed it. It seems to be doing a lot of flying the last little while here. It looks like we got a wild duck flying in on the lake. Yeah, we do. Actually, we should start getting more and more wild ducks showing up. Man, the water's low, guys. I'm just looking here. It's like, you know, it looks like the creek is getting torn up, but it's actually not. It's actually the bottom of the creek that's coming to the surface because the water's so low. Because I'm walking right now in an area that I really should be floating and walking on jello, and it's not like that at all. We're in a drought conditions here. I don't care what the government says. Oh, okay. Killdeers are losing it. Okay, I gotta get closer here. Get ready with the shotgun. But I want to show you something, guys. Like, look at this. The water is so low that, one, I'm standing right here, but it's actually depressed because that should be flush. There shouldn't be an edge. There's like a 5-6 inch edge. The water level is seriously down. I can't believe it. Well, the fact that I'm walking around out here. Ducks are going in the water, and I'm ready with the shotgun here. Well, I'm not ready to take a shot, but I've got the shotgun. Yesterday, Doug ran like another crazy full day. I can't believe how much it's warmed up. Considering, you know, it was 3.9 degrees Celsius on my digital thermometer in my bedroom, and it was 4 degrees in the kitchen an hour after I got up. And I'm out here right now it's 9 a.m. wearing just a t-shirt. Okay, I gotta get the shotgun ready just in case. Okay guys, otters are back again. I don't believe this. They're chirping like crazy. I gotta get the shotgun ready here.
Ducks are losing it, and I can hear the chirping in the background. Wouldn't you know it, eh? We don't have Doug here. And if Doug was here right now, he'd be running that whole back area. The otters are waiting right over there, just like they were the other day. I'm going out in the boat, guys. I think I need to get out there, and I need to be sitting out there farther out so the otters don't see me here on shore, because the ducks are freaking. Oh, I gotta get out of here in the exact same spot. So, we're going out in the boat. Okay, the ducks just jumped out of the water really fast. I think we've got an otter swimming under the water here somewhere. Now a bunch of ducks just went back right where the otter chirping is. Well, I'll wait out here and see what's going on. The otters might make an appearance because of the boat. Curiosity. Yeah, the ducks are not liking this, guys. I can hear the chirping in the background, and the ducks are getting out of the water. What do you know it, eh? The morning we need Doug to do his thing, he's in the house hurting. Yeah, they're moving farther and farther up the creek. And most of them have actually gotten like right out of the water and heading onto land here. I don't know if the mic can pick that up, but I can hear them chirping. They're talking back and forth. Man, oh man, and that's exactly where Doug has been running back there. I'm supposed to be picking beans, not sitting out here trying to get the otters. The ducks are all out of the water. What a way to ruin the day. Ruin the beginning of the day, actually. Bunch of ducks just took off back there. And they're not making a sound, but the chirping sound is getting louder. The otters are right here again. And the ducks know it. They're all in a circle out of the water now. They're here.
They know too, just stay out of out of sight. Man, Doug, why did you have to hurt yourself yesterday? He pushes himself. And it's this area back here, guys, is so brutal. Like, you can't walk. It's holes. There's like little pathways of water. So like when Doug goes through this area back here, it's brutal on his body because he falls into holes and he has to pull himself out. So it's just so hard on his shoulder. You couldn't ask for worse, area for Doug to have to patrol. It's perfect for an otter because the otter can swim through all the little water, pathways that weave through this whole area. But poor Doug.
I totally missed him. Not even close, actually. He stuck his head up, went under, and the shots were after the fact. I was just hoping it. Well, he should be gone for the day because, you know, once you start shooting at them, they usually leave. But I can't believe these guys keep coming back for the amount of times I'm taking shots at them. Like, it's got to be because they're getting ducks. That's the only thing I can think of. Until I actually, you know, take one out, they don't know there's a price involved in eating duck. Because there's three of them. And the only thing that makes any sense is that they're having success on getting ducks, and that's why they're staying. You know, they're running the gauntlet of Doug, they're running the gauntlet of me, you know, shooting at them, and it's worth it in their eyes because they're getting, you know, they're getting fed. And premium food, actually. Huge freaking meaty ducks. Well, I'm gonna go pick vegetables. The ducks are all out of the water. There's a bunch back there, though, that not a sound is coming from them, and like about it looked like about 30 to 50 ducks went back there. See, if we had the drone, I could actually see back there what's going on. Drone's going to be next week, guys. I'm the way things are going. This weekend with the rainy weekend, pouring rain, I'm going to be sitting inside. I'm getting the drone out in the living room and doing a crash course on the drone, get it all ready. Install those guards that Peter sent me to protect the camera. Get it completely ready. My goal Monday is to have the drone flying. Oh, hang on here. Okay, ducks just did a bit of a freak out here in the water. There's a bunch in the creek. Okay, the otters are back, even though I just shot at them. This is crazy this morning. Motor's running right though. My repair job on the brush seems to be working so far. Everybody's out of the water except this one single Muscovy. Like they're all on the shore. Actually, they're heading back to the yard. They're so freaked out they don't even want to be down here. That's bad, you know, when they start going back to the yard at 9 in the morning. All right, I gotta go do my duck chore stuff and start picking vegetables. This is crazy. I'm not having any luck. Yeah, this is it never fails, guys. You know, oh, you know, who says watching a guy raise ducks would be boring, eh? I'm telling you, man, I never would have thought that raising ducks would be this exciting. It's like an action movie here. Yeah, they're going back to the water a little bit. Okay, I gotta go do my chores. Get this bean thing happening. The ducks that are back there, I don't know what's going on. They're swimming back there. And usually when I shoot, you know, the ducks come home. Yeah, there's not a sign of anything down here. So this weekend, rain weekend, I'm going to be playing with the drone in the living room. We'll get it fired up, and we're going to shoot for Monday. Unless something goes, you know, really wrong here, which I shouldn't say that because usually it does. As soon as I start thinking that, you know, I'm going to start planning ahead. Okay, the ducks are running out of the water again. What is going on? Okay, I got to go over there at the creek. Unless the otter is down there and he's spooking them from the edge of the bulrushes. Because the ducks go in the water and then they rush out of the water. Alright, I gotta dock the boat. It's looking like the ducks are giving up on the water, guys. More and more ducks are heading back to the yard. It's a steady stream going back to the yard. Thing is, there's no chirping going on, and usually the otters are like pretty vocal. But that one Muscovy sitting in the water by itself, I don't know if it's got a death wish or what. Or it potentially could fly. If it's a flyer, that makes sense. Usually the ones that can fly run the predator gauntlet with a lot more confidence. I'm gonna go over to the creek and take a gander here before I go back and do my duck chores. The only ducks that are down here are the Muscovies. One in the water, these two. The rest are heading back home. Look at this. They're not liking the water today at all. I'm wondering if it's Doug not being here running the swamp that the ducks don't have any confidence. But they were totally freaked out when I was at the dock in this area. And the otters I have, last year we saw them come out of the creek, and they were hunting from this end. They were cutting through the bulrushes and then darting out for the ducks. I'm thinking things aren't right here this morning, guys. Usually, when you take shots at them, they disappear, like they just take off, The fact that they're hanging around like this, even though that I took 2 shots at them, it's just got to be that they've had duck and they want another meal of duck. And they're just, because Doug isn't running back there this morning, they're sticking around. It's the only thing that makes any sense. And I'm thinking, the trap the other day when I found it in the water, I'm thinking the otters pulled it down, just because it had the smell still in the bait box, and they tried to pull it in to the water to get at it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking these otters are having a good time down here at the expense of the ducks. But there's not a duck down here. Everybody's back at the yard. Look at that. Well, I'm going to be working in the garden here, and we know how much the ducks love to hang around when I'm working in the garden. Actually, if I just work in the yard, period, the ducks seem to hang around like little dogs. But if they're in the yard with me while I'm working, they're safe. Nothing can happen to them. All right, I'm gonna go and start my day here. I got my helpers picking beans, and we're gonna get that finished today. And hopefully in my freezer, because it's supposed to rain all weekend. 2 solid days of rain. I got my morning chores done. Ducks, even the duck that had the death wish that was running the gauntlet down there, the Muscovy, at the water, it did a rush back and is now back with the flock. But the whole flock is in the yard. They have no interest in being down at the water. Everybody's here. They're camping out. I'm thinking they feel safer right now because there's a bunch of people in the yard. Because even Muscovy, I was doing the water and I looked up and I saw the Muscovy doing like one of those roadrunner feet tricks coming home. It was doing a pretty fast run, but nobody is in any type of urge to go down to the water. They're quite happy to stay here. There's been a pretty good pace back and forth to the feeder. It's like they know right now is not a good time to go down there, and they're just going to hang around here. I'm thinking, guys, it's because Doug is not down there. And the otters are sticking close. Because if Doug was, did his normal, shotgun run down to the swamp, he would have already cleared that area. he would have, you know, done his running back and forth and disappeared back in the swamp, and the otters would have left. And because Doug hasn't done that, the otters are staying, and that's why the ducks are back in the yard, because they know that the otters are, you know, close by. Like, I heard the chirping, but the thing is, there's those ducks that went to the back that have not reappeared. So we probably are going to lose a duck today, because one of those ducks that went back there is going to get taken out. All right, I'm going to go and pick beans with my helpers and get the rest of my day underway here. Oh man, what a curveball this morning. Oh man, this is crazy. But it's like this every year. I shouldn't say it's crazy, because it's like, you know, anybody that watches this series, it's always the end of the series, you know, before we say goodbye to the ducks, that it's, you know, the 6 weeks, 7 weeks before they leave is when it's absolutely, you know, it gets loony here. Which, by the way, guys, we're getting close. October 27th, the ducks leave, and we are like over 10 grand away on the fundraiser. We need to crank it up. I don't know if you want to constantly be hearing me talk about it, or if you just want to, you know, leave it right to the last minute. But, you know, it's such a small amount of money for the amount of people that watch this channel. You know, if you think about it, you know, an episode gets like 5,000 views in the first day, 36 hours. You know, if everybody chipped in $2, it would be over. The fundraiser would be over, and we could just focus on the duck adventure. And you know, you wouldn't hear me talking about, you know, we need money to finish off the fundraiser and get these ducks off to the homeless shelter, you know, and feed the homeless, because that's what we're doing here, guys. You know, this money is not for me personally. As you know, on the GoFundMe, I break it all down. Every cent goes towards raising these ducks to give them away. You know, like, I'm giving my whole year's work away here, guys. So you can't expect me to be paying the bill also. I don't think it's very fair. So, and it's not very fair to keep me, you know, begging you guys to crank up the, you know, the generosity to get this fundraiser out of the way, so we can just focus on the ducks. It's 12:30, guys, and the ducks just now are starting to go to the lake. Doug's still inside. He really wants to come out, but I can't let him come out. But they've just started going down. I was up setting the back deck up to start cleaning the beans that we picked, and I looked out and I saw the ducks heading out. So they must feel that the otters have left. But they stayed here all morning, guys. They've been sleeping down here while we've been picking vegetables. So hopefully nothing happens while we're picking vegetables here. I can't see the otters still hanging around this long. The ducks have successfully waited them out. But this just shows you, you know, when Doug is not here doing his job, it totally screws the ducks' schedule up. Well, the ducks, they're not swimming all over the lake, but they're not panicking. They are down there. I think they're still a touch cautious, but nothing's chasing them, because if there was, they would be back home. So they're playing down in the water, being ducks. And nothing's happening to them, so that's a good thing. I've got Doug in the back shed here. He really wants to go for a run. He keeps sucking up, comes over, gives you big kisses, and then he tries to slither away. So I've got him in the back room right now. I brought him out of the house because he was looking out the window, and I was like, oh, Dougie, I'll let you come out, but I haven't let him off the deck. So he's given up and gone back into the room. Look at the little sleepy dog. Dougie, you're not going anywhere today. R&R. But what a difference, guys. You know, when Doug doesn't run and do recon down there, how the ducks' behavior change, and they, you know, coming back to the yard and staying in the yard all morning. Tomorrow we'll see. You know, he'll go out and, well, if it's raining, Doug won't go out, but if it isn't raining, he'll go out and do a recon. And I bet you the ducks will be down there, you know, because he'll clear the swamp, if anything, down there. The ducks just freaked out. I'm sitting here cutting beans, and they were losing it, and they took off like a bat out of hell. Actually, there's a big bunch of them just coming home right here, right now.
And I thought, you know, the otters were back. And it turned out it was a Muscovy decided to fly back. And when it took off and started flying, it caused everybody to just totally freak out. Like if you look, they're all just like necks stretched out. And it was because a Muscovy flew home. I thought for sure there was an otter down there. But it was because of one single duck flying home that everybody's coming home in a panic. I'm sitting here on the back deck. All I got was on is shorts. I don't have any boots on or nothing. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be running down on my Crocs with the shotgun, and I look in, and then I see the Muscovy land, and the duck's just freaking. Just like one duck decides to fly, and the whole flock like loses. There's nothing down there. Man, oh man, these ducks are seriously skittish. Dougie really wants to go for a run so bad. I've had to call him back, guys. Like 5 times he's gone to the edge of the grid here, thinking that he's going to take off. Now he's going to get on top of the hot tub here and pretend like, oh, I could just jump off. You know, you would notice me just going for a quick rip. You're not going for a rip, Doug. If anything, you're going to go back into the house. They're all coming back home. They all got freaked out over one bird flying. The rest of them, though, are down in the swamp, still paralyzed in fear. Man, ducks. And they're dribbling like really, really slow. Slowly coming back. Oh man, they're bad. I thought for sure I was going to be going to do Rambo here in my Crocs, running through the mud. But just one duck flying, freaking the rest out. Well, the yard's turned into a hive of activity here, guys. They've all come home. Everybody's cruising and touring around the yard. I'm taking a short break here. I just took all the yellow beans over to the freezer. I've got to fire up my my other freezer because now I'm officially full. I've just made room for the green beans from today's cutting. I haven't finished yet. I've still got 8 more bags to cut, or about 32 pounds more to do. I'm just getting burnt out here, so I'm taking a little bit of a duck break because I've cleaned enough this week. It's been a pretty intense gardening week. Plus, you know, doing everything else here. But the ducks are, they're all home. Nobody's at the creek. I just filled this water up for them. They're sure a bunch of happy ducks. Even though today, you know, was a stressful day, things didn't work out well, they still are having a good time. There's a whole group over here in the shade of the back shed. Just look at that for a mess of ducks sleeping. They don't like being in the sun, some of them. Like they lay in the shade of the tree. The straight line. Like look at that. It's so funny. But the sun is nice and warm. So I could see how they'd be nice and warm right now. Because actually I'm sitting on the back deck and all I've got on is just my shorts, cleaning the beans. It's a beautiful day to do it. And I really should stay focused and try to get it done because tomorrow's going to be a rainy day, which means I'll have to do it in the back shed. But I'm playing a little bit of duck hooky here, enjoying the ducks. I did a bunch of duck hooky before I turned the camera on, and then I thought I really should turn the camera on and share this with you because honestly guys, I've been walking around here for like 15-20 minutes just looking at the ducks because they all came home, and I really like when they come home in the yard and I can walk around and like admire my ducks. Basically is what it is.
There's so many of them, and they're everywhere.
This bunch sleeping in the shade. But they're doing a terrible job on the lawn. I gotta actually fire up the lawnmower again. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna pass on that right now, guys. I gotta focus on getting my garden done.
And I really want to get the drone fired up. Even though I'm gonna be firing it up in the living room, and who knows what's gonna happen when I do that. Literally, who knows what's gonna happen. I could end up having drones stuck to my ceiling in the living room. I'll turn the camera on if it happens. But I gotta get the drone happening. The goose is still sitting on the nest in here. And that's another thing too. I'm thinking about doing a bit of a move here.
I'm contemplating on catching her, putting her in the barn, and then taking the pitchfork and the wheelbarrow and moving the whole mound that she's built and put it in the barn, and then take some grid and just put sort of like a grid around the area and still have an opening so she can go in and out, but just so that the ducks in the hospital won't accidentally walk into her space. I'm thinking about it.
I don't know yet. I'm thinking I might do that. Because if she does hatch, you know, those eggs, which I think I should probably candle them first before I go through all that trouble, the goslings are going to have to be in the barn anyways. So I wouldn't just have them all in there to start with. That's what my idea is. When I was sitting on the deck cleaning beans, I had that brainwave, the brain fart, or what do you want to call it. Some just told me, Matt, maybe I should do that.
Everywhere there's shade, the ducks are following the shade around. They're all hanging around with me today, keeping me company.
I guess they know Doug's on disability today. He's in the house. Well, he's actually in the back shed. I closed him in the back shed while I was walking around because I knew that he would follow me around. I'm just looking for Stripper. I saw her a few minutes ago. Yeah, there she is.
She just came out from underneath the bathtub. A little girl. She's trying to find that perfect spot to lay down. And she just, oh man, she's a stumbling fool. The poor little duck. Yeah, Stripper's gonna be a house duck again this winter, I just know it. And she'll probably be an uncooperative house duck all winter.
Ooh, boys, massive yawn. I'm burning out. Garden burnout this week. That's what it is. Just too much happened here this week. Too much. All right, I'm gonna do some more bean cutting while I have sunlight and I have energy. Energy's running low though. So I'm gonna just feed the ducks, clean up my mess, and I've just got it done in time. Those houseflies that bite drove me nuts all day, but I'm done now, so that's a good thing.
But the ducks, they kept me company all day. They have just been surrounded me and quacking all day.
And like I said, I just finished in time. Sun's going behind the trees, and it's starting to cool off.
What a job. Oh, I'm glad it's done. I was so not looking forward to the possibility of having to do it tomorrow. Not at all. I'm even contemplating a day off, guys. I was telling Simon, I'm thinking I'm becoming a little burnt. I need a little bit of recovery, rejuice, recharge, whatever you want to call it. I'm feeling a little creativity burnout. Oh, that's a mess of bean scraps. It'll be gone tomorrow. I'll see what I have for supper tomorrow, and I'll decide what's going to happen to the remaining kiddie pool. I got a hunch it's going to come to here. Whatever I don't eat. One Muscovy down in the swamp. Everybody else is, circling around the yard somewhere. Oh, a whole bunch over by the garden. Yeah, they're over by the barn and the garden. Bunch up here in the yard. It's the end of the day. I think it's like 4 to 6. Temperature's dropping, I know that. I had to put a t-shirt on, and I think I need socks because I can feel the cool air going through the holes in my Crocs. Temperature's dropping quick considering how nice it was today. Oh, I'm so happy that I got that done. It was a score having Amanda come today with Simon to help. Really, well, the only reason we're done today is because of the third person. Even though, you know, they left at like 1:45. Got a serious dent in my garden situation. All I got left now is carrots next week and parsnips. Well, they're November. And I'm thinking my squash zucchini thing is, I don't know what's going to happen with it. It looks like zucchini. It doesn't even look like squash. You know, because Doug didn't do his job today, the ducks basically stayed the whole day in the yard. They went down to the lake, you know, and did a little bit of creek playing for about a half an hour, 20 minutes, and that was it. It's like they knew that, you know, that the perimeter hadn't been swept, and that the safe place to be was in the yard because Doug didn't do his job. It's quite amazing, actually. Well, we'll see, you know, guys. You know, Doug, he should be a little bit better tomorrow. We'll see what the weather's like, what he's feeling like. If it rains all weekend, who knows what's going to happen here. With me being burnt out and in desperate need of a rest, I might, you know, shut the ducks down here and leave them in lockdown. Give Doug a rest, give me a rest. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. I'm winging it, rambling right now. I'm tired. I can't believe the amount of males though. There are so many ducks with the green heads starting to appear. We're going to have a serious explosion of green heads here the next 2 to 3 weeks. A lot of males. You know, when they're scattered all over the property, it doesn't look like a lot of ducks. You know, there's a bunch down over there, a whole bunch over at the barn, and then a bunch here. All right, I gotta get some clothes on because standing in the shade here, I've got to chill. I was out here earlier and I already locked the back gates, but I witnessed something that I think I know why Disco's got a limp, guys. I watched Disco fly across the pen right into the wire. I couldn't believe it. The duck, I was down there, and I was at the kiddie pool, and the duck decided to fly across the yard and flew right into the wire and just wiped right out. So I'm thinking that Disco hurt himself doing some kind of stupid flying activity. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do a walk around here before I energize the fence. I was out earlier readjusting the timer to turn the lights on a half hour earlier because it was getting dark and the lights weren't on. Okay, no ducks out here. Man, is it ever cold. I don't believe it. I'm wearing shorts and I shouldn't be. I can't tell, but I think there's a white duck at the creek. I'm thinking it's a Muscovy. Yeah, there's a duck down in the water. walking around. What are you doing, duck? The ducks are not liking me walking around the pen. They're all freaking out. Doesn't look like anybody's out. I don't believe how cold it is. I should have put a jacket on, which doesn't make any sense because it's actually supposed to warm up and rain. So I have no idea what's going on.
And don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends and enjoy the show.